Hello folks, the Celtic Nerd here, bringing you another nerdy video. And what's this? The background image for this, the main image for this video is a One Piece live action. Well, I guess we're talking about One Piece the live action. Now, it has been quite a while since the One Piece live action dropped. And again, it is a very satisfying live action adaptation. Like, the cast was absolutely fantastic, and like, again, like, I really only ever had like very few issues. The issues I had with it could be counted on one hand, and I interviewed a person who's never watched One Piece, who this is his introduction to One Piece, and he was interested in now reading the manga and watching the anime. So like it's a really good show. Now there has been some news about what's going to happen in season 2. I know we got our teaser for season 2 at the end of season 1 with the legendary Marine Smoker. So now let's talk about it. So Oda has confirmed what arcs are going to be covered in season 2. Now, season 1 covered essentially the Straw Hat's beginnings. What's it called? It's almost the entirety of the East Blue arc. Now, again, there were some things changed and modified. For example, Don Krieg was featured in the anime, but he was featured fighting Mihawk as opposed to fighting Luffy. Sorry, I had to take a sip of tea there. Also, let's see, what else did they possibly skip? Again, like, everything was basically shortened down. Like Syrup Village, Usopp's hometown, that was significantly longer in the anime, obviously, and there was a lot more features of the Kuro pirates. So, like, that was greatly shortened. The same goes for Nami's hometown. That was featured a lot more, but, like, not gonna complain, it was pretty fun. And there were supposed to be multiple fights between Arlong and Luffy, and then there was even fights between Arlong and Zoro at one point. When Luffy was unable to continue fighting, there was a whole stressful time mission introduced in the anime and the manga, which wasn't featured in the live action, which again, it is fine. It's totally fine. I cannot expect them to completely follow the manga and whatnot, but like they honored the spirit of the thing, and that's what's, and that again, like, and the fact that they consulted Oda on so much, like, they do not release the seasons with, like, apparently, like, the showrunners at Netflix are like, yeah, we're not putting this forward until Oda is satisfied. So, like, yeah, like, and the fact that Oda gave his seal of approval, like, is truly amazing. And I honestly feel like Oda is the type of what's the official term for a manga artist? Hold on. Term for manga. What is the term? I always forget. Mangaka. Okay, so Oda is the type of mangaka that absolutely treasures his creation. Again, One Piece was only meant to be a 5-year project for him, and it is now spent over 2 decades. You don't do that without loving it, like, loving your creation. He's not a sellout or anything like that. So, like, I honestly believe, like, there would be no season 1 if Oda was like, you know what, you captured the spirit of what's going on in my story, I give this my seal of approval. You may have changed some things, but like you captured the essence at the very least. Now, back to the news. So my social medias blew up with like people saying like this has been removed, X has been removed from the One Piece live action. And I'm about to look into it. I can't find any like official source. This is the closest thing that I can find to an official source. Now you may be seeing that I'm on Reddit here, but that's only purely for this image. For some reason, when I like watch what happens when I click open image in a new tab, it shrinks. I'm like, yeah, no. I like this. This is a really nice image. So like I don't want to shrink it down. So apparently people have been saying that Oda has confirmed they're skipping the Alabasta arc in One Piece. Now, that is blasphemous to One Piece fans, because Alabasta is such a treasured arc. Now, I don't think they are, because we are introduced to several extremely important characters throughout the Alabasta arc. Now, the Alabasta, some argue that the Alabasta arc starts in Whiskey Peak. I disagree. Like, let's see, actually, let's look at the official term for the Alabasta arc, because I know some people say it starts in Whiskey Peak, but then it ends, obviously, at the end when they, after the final battle between Luffy and the main antagonist of that. So let's see. Okay, manga chapters 155. Let's see, when does this start? Okay, see, there's okay, yeah. There's saga, and then there's the arc. Okay. The Alabasta arc takes place when they reach the Kingdom of Alabasta. But then there's the Arabasta. Again, it's the translations. Its actual proper term is Arabasta, but like I've always heard it as Alabasta. Like I even see it spelt that way in like translations. So the arc. Sorry, the Arabasta saga starts in Reverse Mountain, which is where season 2, which will be featured in season 2. So like there are 5 arcs in this saga, and the reason why they're all linked is because of one key character that gets introduced very shortly after the Straw Hats enter the Grand Line. So I think season 2 is going to feature several of these arcs, but it's not going to include the namesake arc of the saga. Like, we're not getting the entire saga, we're getting like the first parts of it. That's my opinion, because of what we see here. So, Most Beloved One Piece arc won't be included in One Piece live action season 2, Oda confirms. Now, I've been seeing people blown this out of proportion. I've seen people talk about how it's going to be completely skipped. But here's the thing. Let's scroll down. Now, this is a brief explanations over the arcs. We're not. I don't want to do that, because for anyone who's interested, who's like, for example, there's a certain guest that I had that might be watching what comes next. So I don't want him watching this video to see, oh my god, so this is what happens. No. So this is apparently a letter from Oda. So Yes, the live action One Piece is currently in production with filming well underway. The story will cover Logtown, which technically is part of the East Blue arc, but they decide to move it over to season 2, which I find quite interesting as a decision. It's going to cover Logtown, Reverse Mountain, aka Twin Capes, Whiskey Peak. Now, Whiskey Peak is where they meet this very important character. And then Little Garden, which the events at Little Garden forces the group to go to, that pushes the group to really spend some time on this place rather than staying on their ship. Now, there's reasons why they were originally planning on staying on the ship, but then, their idea, it gets a lot of stuff gets explained in Reverse Mountain, and so there's a very important reason why they need to do stuff on Drum Island. So that is it. Now, a lot of stuff happens in those arcs, but let's count though. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 story arcs being covered in this season. Now, Logtown is very brief. I'm going to be honest. A part of me would not even consider Logtown an arc. Let's see here. Is it considered? There is, okay. So it is considered an arc. How many chapters was it? It was only 5 chapters. So I think it's one of the shortest arcs. Actually, no, I don't even know if it's the shortest arc. Let's see. I'm curious now. Now these early ones will be very short. 5 chapters for Logtown, 27 chapters for Arlon Park. The Baratier was 27 chapters as well. Serp Village was 20. Orange Town was 14. And Romance Dawn, which is the very beginning, was only 7. Okay, so Logtown is considered an arc. It had 5 chapters, so this is an episode. Logtown is going to be an episode. It was multiple episodes in the anime. So in all fairness, it is better to compare it to the anime in terms of length, due to the fact of the anime can cover more. An anime episode covers more than what was maybe covered in the a single chapter. So it was 7. Wow. Wait, each chapter is about 20 pages. Okay, meh. Also, there was actually filler episodes. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, so it was 5 chapter. Logtown was 5 chapters in the manga and 7 episodes in the anime. Now, in terms of the anime, they added a bunch of filler stuff. There was Usopp filler. There was Zoro. Yes, there was a Zoro filler, if I recall. I know there's a Sanji Usopp filler. I know 100% of it. There's a whole episode about Sanji participating in a cooking contest to win a fish. Usopp had a challenge with a bounty hunter gunslinger, which will run him his signature. Run him some goggles that he wears throughout a lot of for the series. Did Nami have? I don't think Nami had a filler episode in Orange Town. Sorry, in Logtown, and I don't think Zoro did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Yeah, no, he didn't. So yeah, it was only Usopp and Sanji that had filler thing. So that's only 2 episodes. So 5 episodes. So same as it would have been the same as the manga. But okay. So either way, it is a very short arc. So they're probably going to cover Logtown in one whole episode. Then the next arc is Reverse Mountain, which was also 5 chapters. So Reverse Mountain is probably going to be a chapter. sorry, an episode. I don't know how many episodes they're going to be doing. I would hope they would extend the number of episodes they're doing. In terms of the live action series, because maybe that way they can include more stuff from the manga. But then we have Whiskey Peak. That is probably going to be maybe an episode and a half. No, because episode and a half. They get half. Let's see, hold on. They get there halfway through one episode. They then it ends with a cliffhanger, and then the rest of the next episode is the entirety of basically covers what happens, and then it ends with the big reveal involving this important character. Again, I'm trying not to give spoilers. And then let's see here, Little Garden. Drum Island needs to have the most episodes of the season. Not gonna lie, it needs to have the most episodes of the season. Drum Island has to have it. I don't care. I don't care how they modify Little Garden. I don't actually. There are some very important moments in each one. In each of these seasons, in each of these arcs, there are very important moments, obviously. There's a very important moment in terms of Luffy here, and we as the fans, it's super important to fans. It's also fairly important to Zoro, in terms of Logtown. Reverse Mountain, it's more as the crew as a whole. They learn how the Grand Line works and how you navigate it. So yeah, again, I'll be surprised. Maybe Reverse Mountain will be lumped in with Lockdown. You can boil that down very shortly. Actually, it is fairly important, but more so due to what gets introduced later in the story, actually. So, there's one big thing that they have to include in Reverse Mountain, and if they don't include this big thing, I will get frustrated. When I say big thing, people who've read the manga or watched it, anyone who has prior experience to One Piece will know what I mean by big thing at Reverse Mountain. Whiskey Peak, as I said, that can be just boiled down to maybe even an episode. An episode and a half at most. Little Garden, an episode, really. It's Little Garden sets off some events involving Drum Island, so again, it needs at least an episode maybe. But Drum Island, oh boy, Drum Island, that needs a lot. We need a lot of episodes. We need 2, 3, maybe even 4 episodes. But yeah. But anyway, this is Oda's letter talking about the upcoming season. And even where does this? It even talks about is compiling official account, so check it out. A Grand Line is even more expansive world. You may wonder what was the inspiration behind that kingdom. Alright, so I hold on, I didn't see that bit home. Until I am satisfied, this isn't a contract. This isn't in the contract, it's a verbal pledge. I hope you can appreciate how amazing and determined they are for keeping the world. They've improved their ability to bring this world to the screen. I just can't wait to see it. Meanwhile, Redon's cast is compiled on the official extra account, so check it out. The Grand Line is even more expansive world. You may wonder what was the inspiration behind that kingdom. So it doesn't say so yeah, it's definitely not in season 2. So that's the thing, there's nothing that says they're skipping that kingdom. And again, I like how Oda is even being vague. How would it connect to the real world? Naturally, distinct cast members have been assembled. So, I can't help but get excited about how the adventure has already begun. Among those yet to be announced, what about I Miss All Sunday? Where are they doing? Oh shit. Oh, okay, yeah. In my brief cursory glance at this, I might have skipped something here. Oh no. Maybe they are skipping that arc. But see, he's using her code name, and they're referring to that kingdom. See, like, that's why I think, like, they're doing that kingdom in as an entirety. Like, right, why am I being fake? I already mentioned the fucking saga. So, like, see, the fact that he's referring to that kingdom being Alabasta, and tying in, like, and then using Miss All Sunday, like, that to me suggests that maybe Alabasta is going to be its entire own season. Like, the final part of that saga is going to be season 3. I would not mind that, because Alabasta is, like, again, it is 63 chapters. It was, folks. It was, like, it is a huge jump in chapter count. Like, okay, Whiskey Peak, 9 chapters. Little Garden, 15. Drum Island, 25. Then we go from 25 to 63. Alabasta was a huge arc. So, like, again, I would be okay with that being season 3. And again, I see, the more I read this, a part of me, yeah, does see hints. Like, I can definitely see how some people might think that we might be skipping it. However, the fact, like, this, like, these two names to me suggest that we're not skipping it. Like, the fact that Vivi and Miss All Sunday are in season 2 means we're not we're not skipping it. Like, that arc will come up. It's just that we're not getting the arc in season 2. We'll probably get it in season 3, which is perfectly fine. It's a big arc. And also, as he said, oh, there's my alarm. There we go. So we'll probably get it at season 3. But starting tomorrow, we'll be announcing more cast members over 3 days. So yeah, okay, so like on August 21st. Oh shit, this, okay, so I'm surprised that my thing only been blowing up now. But again, I'm mostly just, this is just me talking about the fact that last night on my way home from D&D Gamers at Underworld Gaming, I was just seeing, like, Facebook all over my Facebook feed, like, they're skipping Alabasta, like Instagram, they're skipping Alabasta, YouTube, people talking about how they're skipping Alabasta, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking into this myself, and then I'll probably do a reactionary video, or at least a video me talking about, like, after I try and look into it. So, like, again, this is the only, like, thing people have been seemingly pointing to, and, like, again, I don't think they're skipping Alabasta. I honestly think it is just going to be it's been pushed back to season 3, because again, like, this suggests to me, like, this sentence here, and there's yet to be announced. What about Vivi and Miss All Sunday? What are they doing with Chopper? Like, so that suggests to me that we might not be getting Vivi and Miss All Sunday in an earlier. Now, they're supposed to show up much earlier in this saga, but it seems like they're being pushed back to again, I don't want to give I'm trying to avoid some possible spoilers. They've been pushed back to, I'm gonna say, the second half of season 2. They should be showing up much sooner in the first half, but they're being pushed back to somewhere in the second half of season 2. And again, that's me basing on like the arcs that we're covering. I'm referring to the arcs as opposed to the actual season 2. But again, there's nothing here that suggests to me that we're flat out skipping the arc. Now, that arc is heavily inspired on a real, like Oda has drew a lot of inspiration from our real world. Just as a bit of a spoiler ahead, Water 7 was heavily inspired by Venice. Wano is heavily inspired by feudal Japan. And Elbath is heavily inspired by Norse mythology. So, like, Oda draws from inspiration. Like, he draws inspiration from the real world. So there are essentially like real life. So there are real world counterparts to in One Piece in terms of countries and like the teams of certain things. Like Water 7 is a shipwright place, and it's flooding, and so people have adapted to be using like little ships and other things to get around because of all the waterways, similar to Venice. So like again, like there's a lot of inspiration. Like he draws inspiration, and Alabasta also draws heavy inspiration from a real life culture, an ancient culture. So I totally get it that in order to cover all these, right? They needed to push that back, because that's going to take a long ass fucking time to build those sets. You know, it's going to take a long ass time to build the sets for Alabasta. And I am totally bloody fine. And also, they probably want to find actors and actresses probably that could actually believably be in those roles. So yeah, like I totally get it. It's just that again, people are saying that they're skipping like the Alabasta arc. I do not think he's skipping it. I don't think they're skipping it. I think they simply pushed it back to season 3, and if Alabasta gets its entirely its own arc, yeah, I am completely fine with that. I think that will make it amazing, because they'll cover it will suggest to me that it's going to cover so much. There was a lot of action in the Alabasta arc. We would probably be able to get that action. It's a really good arc, and if we do get it, if it turns out that they are completely skipping it, if I get that news and if I see from an official source that they are completely skipping that arc, then yeah, I will do a video, like, you know, I will eat my own words. I'm like, hey guys, I was wrong. They are not pushing it back to season 3. They're full on skipping it. I will give my thoughts at that. I will eat my own words if it turns out I'm wrong, because I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. It's just that from the way I'm reading this, it just seems like we're not covering it in season 2. We're not skipping it. They're just not covering it. And I'm going to be honest with you, there are certain things that apparently are canon that I thought were filler, but it turns out they're not filler. Oh my god, they're not filler. Oh my god, I can't believe he's not filler, but he's actually canon. He's filler to me. And I imagine some people are I'll talk about him if we ever get to him. But again, I can't wait. Like, oh, Season 2 is going to be dope. We're going to get Smoker. We're going to get, like, Whiskey Peak, where Zorro was such a badass in the Whiskey Peak area, like, story arc. So look forward to that, folks, okay? Whiskey Peak is going to be, and Drum Island. Drum Island. Feels for that are felt in Drum Island. There's again, there are no, don't get me wrong, Little Gurn has great moments, Logtown has great moments, and Reverse Mountain has some great moments. Actually, you're gonna get feels in Reverse Mountain. Reverse Mountain, the feels, especially those feels get even heightened and they come back later during another story arc. Again, this is what I love about One Piece. There's some great action that you can look forward to, but then there's the feels. Oh god. But yeah, okay. I said all I wanted to say. Again, I cannot find any other source that talks about them skipping like that arc. Like when I type this in, like I get like this one. See, this one, like I get this, but then I also get like, so again, there are a few YouTubers like me who are like saying like, okay, yeah, like I'm glad there are some that are also being like, yeah, they're not skipping it, they're like, so but there's just also so many people who are like, oh no, they're skipping it. And I'm like, okay, I need to be another voice out there I need to send my voice into the ether as well. So that way, hopefully if enough people like point at this out, then people will be like, oh, okay, it turns out we're wrong. I do not want the loudest voices. I don't want the majority of people thinking like, oh, they're going to skip this arc. No. I need to make sure that, like, I need to add my voice to the voices that are, like, seemingly are also saying it. Because the fact that, like, it wasn't until I did this search, like, I'm not been scouring for an hour, you know, folks, and the fact that it took me that long, like, I was honestly I'm gonna be honest with you, over the course of that hour, I honestly started believing that they were skipping it. I honestly thought they were skipping it. Like, it was confirmed that they were skipping it. And then I was just like, oh no. And then I found this. I found that letter, and I was like, okay, oh my god, thank god. And yeah, it's just and the fact that, like, immediately on my recommended YouTube videos and my like all the stuff that I was seeing on Instagram and then Facebook newsfeed, I was just like, oh my god, no. Like the fact that they are like the highest videos, I was just like, oh my god. Anyway, I'm the Celtic Nerd. Now again, folks, when we do get season 2, I will be covering it. I might even bring back the 10th Planet for some more One Piece interview and talks. But in the meantime, I'm the Celtic Nerd, signing out. One name, one sky.